Welcome to Creating Codex Agents. I'm Chuck McCullough, and this is a demonstration-first course about using coding agents for real software work. No imaginary AI workforce, no pretending that confident text is proof. We'll start by understanding the system, and then we'll configure and control it. We'll turn repeated work into reusable workflows, coordinate bounded tasks, and finally, package a custom agent around a concrete job. Today, we're answering one question. What makes a coding agent different from a chatbot?
I bought this yesterday and need to return it.
Yes, you can probably return that. Check with the return agent's next window over.
Well, a chatbot is useful for explanation, brainstorming, and helping us think. But an answer by itself does not tell us whether the right file is changed or whether the software still works or whether the result satisfies the actual project plan. Let's make that distinction visible with one small bug.
Okay, I have a very simple Python application here called Task CLI. You can see that we have a little bit of Python code here. Here's the command line interface with main. Now, it doesn't really matter what this does, but if you're interested, what it does do is it displays the number of tasks we have remaining. These sample tasks are found in this JSON file. You can see we have one that's finished and two that are not finished. So I'm going to run our unit test for this application from the command line and see how the unit tests come out. And it says that the 3 tests did run and that everything's okay. So I'm going to take that to mean that everything is working in this application. But when I run the application, we see that it tells me I have 3 tasks remaining. Now, the goal of this demonstration is to show the difference between a chat environment, a chatbot, and an actual agent. Now, normally when I think of chatbot, I think of going onto a website like ChatGPT or Grok or Copilot or whatever. And in that case, I would have to paste a lot of our code. I'd have to upload the code into that. Instead, I'm going to use Copilot here in the ask mode, which is effectively the same thing as a chatbot. And I'm going to tell it what the problem is, and I'm going to see what it recommends I do to fix that. Now, because I really used an agent here, Copilot, embedded within Visual Studio Code, I did get a correct identification of the problem in the right file. If I simply uploaded my Python file to a chatbot online, I would have less context available and it would not be able to give me as good of a result. Okay, I do have the extension for Visual Studio Code, so I could perform this from inside VS Code, but for grins, we're going to do it from the command line interface. So I just run Codex. I'm in the same directory as the Python application. So here's my prompt. It says the remaining command counts completed tasks. Fix it so that only unfinished tasks are counted. Add a regression test and a mixed task list. Run the relevant test and summarize the evidence that the bug is fixed. Now, I want you to notice this prompt. It's implicit, but the prompt does hit 5 very important points. The prompt contains a goal, which is to correct the remaining task count. It provides a context. It named the command and the observed defect. It provided a constraint that it should only count the unfinished tasks, not all tasks. It told Codex what the required evidence is, that we have mixed regression tests and that the relevant tests are executed. And it tells it when it's done. You're done when the defect is fixed and the evidence is summarized. So I'm going to run this. So first of all, it's scanning our repository and understanding what we are talking about, and it finds the CLI Python file, that which returning the length of the list. Now it's taking action, the action being to update the files and add additional files to our project. So it took action, it fixed the bug, it added the regression tests, it executed the test. Those 4 tests have passed. It also provided a manual check. It created a JSON file that has a mixture of tests, and it actually ran the application to see that it produced the right outcome. This is the difference between using a chatbot and using an agent.
I bought this yesterday and need to return it.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Your credit card has been credited with the full refund. Have a nice day.
Now, a coding agent can work towards a verified outcome because the model is only one part of a larger system. We can now point to 5 parts of that system in the run we just watched. For this course, I'm going to use simple teaching model, coding agent plus model plus instructions plus tools plus environment plus a feedback loop. It's very important. The model interprets the goal, reasons about the available context, and chooses what to do next. Instructions define the requested outcome, the constraints, and what counts as done. Tools let the agent inspect files, edit code, run commands, and interact with other systems. The environment supplies the repository, the runtime dependencies, the Git state, permissions, and available external services. And feedback comes from either tests, command output, diffs, review comments, and corrections come from the user. The result of one action becomes context for the next action. The agent can continue, correct course, or stop when the requested outcome is supported by evidence. That does not make the agent magically autonomous. It can act only through the tools it has, inside the environment and the permissions that it has been given. And this is not a claim that every product draws the boundary in exactly the same place. Chat experiences can have tools, and coding agents can answer questions. The practical distinction is whether the system can take actions, observe the results, and continue towards an outcome. The final response is not the strongest evidence from that run. The stronger evidence is the regression test, the bounded code change, the passing suite of tests, the corrected manual result, and the diff we can inspect ourselves. Even that is not certainty. Tests can miss cases, the specification can be wrong, and a human reviewer may see a problem the agent did not. Reliable agent work means reducing uncertainty with evidence, not replacing judgment with theater. There are also boundaries. Tools determine which actions are possible. Permissions and sandboxing constrain these actions. Instructions steer the behavior, but they do not guarantee correctness, and verification makes a result more credible, not infallible. We will explore each of these layers in later lessons. Here's your challenge. Choose a tiny change in a disposable repository. Ask a chatbot, and then ask Codex to handle the same task. Before either run, write down the evidence that would prove that the task is complete, and then compare the answer with your verified outcome. In the next lesson, we will separate the model from the agent that wraps around it so you know what part you're actually changing when you configure Codex. Hey, and if you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss future episodes. And by the way, members get special access to code repositories and quizzes and interaction with our AI chatbot that can help answer questions about the video that maybe I didn't provide. So I'll see you in the next lesson.